Happy Tuesday. If you guys can hear me, just make sure you give me the thumbs up so I know everything is working all good. I hope everybody had a fantastic Christmas. I can't believe it's New Year's already. I'm like, where did 2021 go? My God, all of a sudden it's like 2022. Where did that come from? But I hope everybody had a fantastic holiday. Man, I'm freaking exhausted. I'm still exhausted from Christmas, but I had so much fun. I swear, like, I need a second house just for my daughter's gifts. Talk about being spoiled. She was one lucky girl. I'm just gonna wait a couple minutes. I'll say hi to everybody, and then we'll get started. Does anybody have plans for this Friday into Saturday? Are you guys working? Not working? I'm thinking about working New Year's Day, but I might be taking off on New Year's Eve. I think that's kind of like my mindset a little bit going in to this week. I'll kind of see how this week kind of goes. I'm kind of playing it by ear, but I've just been having fun, spending some time and playing. I feel like I'm a kid all over again and playing with some of my daughter's toys. Is that strange that like I am having a really good time playing with kid toys? Maybe I'm just being a kid all over again. Okay, so let's say hi to everybody. Hi Monique, how are you? Hi Sherry. Hey Home-Based Income, how are you? Hi Lisa, how are you? Hi Thomas. Hi Gig in Between. Hi Kimberly. Hi Josh. Hi Rach13B. Hi Kathy, how are you? Hi Gig Cleveland. Oh, Gig Cleveland, you're working in the snow, getting $35 an hour Grubhub. Wow. Well, go work, go have some fun, but thank you for stopping by, and please be safe in that snow. Hi, Truth Be Told. Hopefully I got everybody. We're going to get started. Okay, so I figured we're coming into a whole new year. I feel like it's, new year, new beginnings, and I know some people believe in New Year's resolutions. I know some people don't believe in New Year's resolutions. I personally believe in new beginnings and doing New Year's resolutions. And hi, Driven Dad, how are you? And really, holding myself accountable. And, you guys hopefully know me by now. I'm such a goal-oriented person. It just really helps me achieve some of like my bigger goals. So start with 2021, what my New Year's resolutions were last year. So last year, during this time, those of you who, wow, Gig in Between, I'm just reading yours, made $110 in 3 hours for a snow chip. Wow. So you and Gig Cleveland are probably close to each other. Wow. Congratulations. That's awesome. But please be safe with the snow out there. So last year in 2021, I actually had three, but I'll go over the most main ones. So my first one was, those of you who are probably just new to my channel might not know this. So last year at this time, my husband was recovering from a heart attack and a triple bypass surgery. So my New Year's resolution, oh good, Driven Dad, that's a good thing. Hopefully my Wi-Fi doesn't crash today. I think we're good. I think also last week, completely sidetrack conversation. I was using a new microphone and I had my AirPods, and it might have been like an overload with like microphones, and that might have been the problem with some of the crackling and hearing like the mic problems that it was having. So now we just have AirPods in tonight. So sidetrack conversation. So anyway, so last year my husband was recovering from a pretty major surgery, and I, got rid of my W-2 job to be home with my family, and my New Year's resolution was to try gig work full time and be successful and, provide for my family. And, I completely just went out and went like full force, full steam ahead, and I really haven't looked back. The good news is my husband is almost 100%. He's really on the mend, and he's almost there, and we got through it, and I'm so proud of him for his recovery. And I stuck to it. I've now been a full-time gig worker for a year, which is crazy to me. So that was my first New Year's resolution. My second New Year's resolution was, to really build a community that I take you guys along with me every day, and it's a community that we can learn from each other, we can grow from each other, we can share our stories, because who knows better than anybody else is someone who's actually, working and grinding and hustling just along right with you. So I was really trying to build, my community and really inspire and motivate, people. And guys, I take you guys along with every day. So I achieved that too. So all my New Year's resolutions that I really wanted to achieve, I achieved in 2021. I did want to win the lottery as well, but I guess the numbers weren't in my cards, and I did not get the lottery, so there was that New Year's resolution. Sorry, that one went out the window. But it's always good to dream, right? They say $1 in a dream. It would be nice to be a millionaire at this point, but no such luck. So anyway, so that was 2021. Hey, Kevin, how are you? So here we are, we're in the last, week of 2021 going to 2022. And, I kind of want to apply, gig work and what I've learned in gig work and how do I apply it to 2022. And that's what we're really going to talk about today. So my first 2022 New Year's resolution, and once again, these are my resolutions. Maybe you guys agree, maybe you don't, maybe you can create your own, who knows. But I encourage you guys, thank you, Thomas Kim, you're worth $1 million to us. Oh, that's really sweet. Yeah, I wish I had that $1 million in my pocket. Hey, UDM, how are you? But yeah, no, $1 million wasn't in my future in 2021. So my first New Year's resolution of 2022 is it's kind of learning from, I hate to say my mistakes. I don't want to say mistakes because I feel like that's too negative. But, I got onto the Grubhub platform this year. And, one thing I've learned through all of this is freaking Grubhub wait times are ridiculous. So I'm making a commitment to myself that when the order says blank time to be picked up, gosh darn it, I'm going to be picking it up at that time. And if it's not ready, then you know what? I'm giving it 5-10 minutes and I'm out the door. How many times this year I feel like I've wasted time, I've wasted orders because I feel like Grubhub puts in your face these fantastic orders. You see $20 orders, you've seen $25 orders. I've even seen $30 and $40 orders this year. And is the time really worth the money? And that's kind of my thought process with Grubhub this year. So a New Year's resolution to me is I need to be more persistent with those wait times and not let the dollar signs get into my head that this is a $20 order, I'm gonna wait blank amount of minutes. No, time is money and it's valuable to me, and I should be valuable. Wow, that's good English today. I should be really important to me, my time and my efforts putting into my order. So that is one of my resolutions, coming into this year. My next resolution, am I losing my voice? Do I sound like I'm losing my voice? Maybe I need to take a drink. Thank you. I'll take a drink. Dr. Pepper tonight is the choice of drinks tonight. I had a glass of wine earlier and I'm like, Oh, I needed that glass of wine. So maybe it's the wine talking. No, I'm just kidding. So my next New Year's resolution that I had for myself this coming year is one that's actually near and dear to my heart. And, another creator said this to me, and it stuck with me this year, and I value it immensely. UDM, it is you, by the way. I'm so happy you're here because I'm going to actually talk to you. Is you said to me that you really you value your time, and when if you set your time that you're getting done at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever the time is, that's the time you're stopping, whether you made your goal, you didn't make your goal. And that resonated with me, and that's actually going to be one of my New Year's resolutions this year. Yes, I'm still going to have goals. Yes, I'm still shooting for my goals every single day. But, to me, I want to value my time and my family. And you guys know me by now. I can hustle with the best of them. But sometimes that's like fault of my own. And I can actually say that's a fault of my own. And I can go and go and go and go. And that's my nature. Like, my nature is just to go, 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 go. And call it like the Energizer Bunny. But if I don't stop, I'll keep going. I can't tell you how many times I've already had in my goal for the day, and it gets to be 10 o'clock, and my MO usually is to go until until like 10 o'clock, usually 9 to 10 o'clock is my cutting off time, but I keep everything on until I get into my driveway. I can't tell you how many times this year that I almost got to my driveway and a really good order has come in. I'm like, oh man, I'm not leaving that on the table, and back out I go. And then one order becomes 2 orders, becomes 3 orders, becomes 5 orders. Next thing I'm knowing, it's like 11, 12 o'clock, and you don't even realize it. And you go to yourself and go, what am I doing? And that was kind of like my aha moment with talking you with the UDM. And I'm like, you know what? No, not this year. This year I am 9 o'clock means 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock means 10 o'clock. And another reason why I'm saying this, especially with my cutoff times, is because I really will say this. I have a process, and usually my process is I come home, I get rid of all the germs, I take a shower, I come home, I eat something, because I eat dinner about 4 o'clock at night. So usually by the time you get home, I'm like starving. So I usually eat something, but then the editing process for YouTube begins. And sometimes it could take 2 hours, sometimes it could take 4 hours. But usually my cutoff for editing is midnight. If I stay out any later than 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, I'm up until 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. And there are some days where I just completely get burnt out, and I'm usually good for a couple of days, and then all of a sudden, I feel like I hit a wall, and I kind of go, what the heck am I doing? And I need that day to decompress. And it all kind of stems from not stopping when I say I'm going to stop. And so that is my New Year's resolution this year, is to really hold myself accountable to the hours that I'm going to work. And you guys are going to see it too. If I'm telling you I'm working 4 hours today, I'm working 4 hours today. I'm not saying I'm going to be like 4:05 or 4 o'clock on the dot, I'm out. Obviously orders take some time after the hour, but I'm not going to, I'm not going to keep on going. And I guess that's my gift to myself, is I'm really going to value my time, and but I'm also going to value, myself and the time that I have with my family, so that way, they get more of me as well. So those are kind of my 2 major New Year's resolutions going into this coming year. So we'll talk about YouTube. So that's another one of, my New Year's resolutions. I think as creators, we try to evolve with the times that are coming. my goal this year is to kind of take you guys, not that you guys don't come along with me as it is, but I'm hoping to get new equipment that's going to actually have you guys come live with me on a couple of my deliveries, so that way we can chat as I'm doing live deliveries. So that's one of my goals for my channel this year. But obviously, my real goal is just to keep expanding my channel and to really continue to build the community with you guys, because this channel is all about you and, continuing, to motivate you guys, inspire you guys, and that's why I do what I do. So without you guys, there would be no me. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything that you guys contribute to on a daily basis. But, I always say I give you the good, the bad, and the real. So more real to come. So hopefully you guys can, come live with me on some of my deliveries this coming year. So hopefully that's to come sometime soon. I'm actually really excited about that. That way, you feel like we're working side by side with each other through through the year. So that's kind of where I'm trying to take the channel in the next couple of years. Wow, the next couple of months. I'm basically so glad to hear you're having fun and enjoying. I am having fun. I legitimately love what I do. I love doing, creating. I love putting content out there for you guys on a daily basis. I'm not gonna lie, it is a lot of freaking work, but I feel like it pays for itself by helping everybody, and it pays for itself by motivating you, and that's really what I want to portray. And I just love responding. I love the interaction with everybody. I think that's my biggest thing. Like, I wanted to create an environment that I can have access to you guys, and you guys have access to me as much as I possibly can. That's why I really try to respond to every single one of your comments. And yes, it is me who responds to every single one of your comments, just because I want to have that sense of community, and you feel like I'm reachable and I'm obtainable, and I am literally just an everyday mom going out there just like you guys are and hustling every single day. A lot of times I might not get back to you. Thomas, that is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much. You have a drive like nobody. Much love. Thank you so much. But I really try to literally I can't thank you guys enough, because I think we all go through this. I think we all go through those days where we all have those days where, do you really want to get out of bed in the morning and get on your clothes and get dressed? Yes, I'm a mom, so I have to every single day. But just like everybody else, I have those days where I just want to crawl under the covers, put the covers over my head, and go back to bed. And I feel like you, just as much as you guys say you inspire me, I mean, I inspire you. You guys inspire me. Like, I feel like I'm like, okay, I need to get out there. I need to go working because people are depending on me. I have to show them, this is what it's like to be a gig worker. And, you guys get me out of bed every morning and, help me with my own hustle. So thank you guys so much for everything you do for me, as much as you guys say I do for you. So thank you so incredibly much going into 2022. So if you guys have any of your own year's resolution, whether it is, gig related, whether it is, personal related, let me know. Let's have a chat about it. Let's talk about it. Just because I think it's fun just to see where everybody is at and what everybody's goals are for 2022. Is that hard to say? I had a hard time when I was thinking of this topic tonight. I kept saying, like, 2022 is a really hard thing to say. Am I just a dork for saying that? I just feel like, I'm like, wow, 2022, like, it's too, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just me and having a hard time saying 2022. Yeah, lottery winner. I totally want to be. I totally want to be a lottery winner this year. Can I put that like in like personal like um my personal resolution? Do you think it would happen? Maybe I just need to keep. Maybe I just need to keep keep playing the lottery, keep wasting money. But they always say a dollar in dream. Is it real? I don't know whether it's real. I want it to be real. Oh man. Mm. The gaming team said, "Oh my God, OMG, I have done the same thing. It's a really bad habit." I'm telling you, like it is so easy in the gig world to really just to keep on going. Like I feel like sometimes I'll call it greed for the lack of better word because I'll say I'm greedy. I feel like sometimes the greed and the money gets the best of us. Like I feel like especially when I was talking about Grubhub, like I feel like you see like those dollar signs, and it happened to me actually last night. I took an order, and I knew the restaurant, and I know the restaurant well just by me even personally personally visiting there quite often. It's a sushi restaurant, and I'm like, and it was a stacked order. I think it was like $22, something like that. So I'm like, I got this, and I think it was like 7 o'clock at night. I'm like, I can get this done in a half hour, knock it out, get maybe another one or two orders in the hour, and I can have like a $20 to like $30 an hour order. And I'm like, I've got this, and I was so motivated. I was going, and I get to the restaurant, and I walk in, and one of the orders was ready. I'm like, score, yes. And they're like, okay, you're gonna wait on another order. I'm like, darn it, I still had it, and I feel like it just took forever. And I'm like, well, there goes there goes an hour. I mean, it was great. I still did, $22, and it was only like a 4-mile order, so I really can't complain too much. Well, I can. I mean, we can all complain about wait times, but that's where kind of like my New Year's resolution, because last night I'm like, I'm so done with Grubhub and their freaking wait times. Like I'm so over it. And I'm like, you know what? I am sticking to my time. I am sticking to whatever Grubhub's time is, and I am not waiting 5 minutes, 10, like I'm not waiting. Like this year I am not waiting for freaking Grubhub. And that's where my Grubhub resolution came from, because I was done with Grubhub last night. Mushigo, Michelle, love your editing music, and I love how you switch up your videos. They are never boring. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I really work hard at that, because I'll be honest, like, and I think we've all had these days where some days, like, I feel like 5,000 things go wrong, and I feel like my video could be like 30 to 50 minutes long just based off of like the series of events that have happened. And then you get some days where, I mean, not that I'm complaining, because they're good days, don't get me wrong, that you go in an order, you go into a restaurant, you grab the order, you drop it off, and you're done. You go into a restaurant, you go, and like, it's almost like, okay, well, I need some kind of excitement for my video. Can you liven it up a little bit? So, like, and those are the days where I kind of think of, I always have topics in the back of my head, just in case I get days like that, because they do happen. Then I'm like, okay, I need to spice up this video, because I would be bored watching myself. So that's where kind of some of the topics come from a lot of times, are the days where I'm like, there's really nothing going on. And then I feel like you get those days where one thing goes wrong, and the rest of the day, your whole entire day goes wrong, and you're like, are you freaking kidding me? Can I just get one thing that goes right? And I'm like, man, this video is gonna be long. Hopefully you guys like it. But then I'm also cursing out those days, because they take the longest to edit when I come home. So it's kind of like half one dozen the other, but that's kind of the process. Oh, Kimberly, I'm so glad you like it. So her videos are the best. Today's are wicked cool, how you put up declines all at once. Now great editing. Thank you. I came up with that literally as I was editing yesterday. I don't know what was going on. I had more declines yesterday than I feel like I had the entire week yesterday, it was just like decline, 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 decline. I said, I can't just keep putting up declines all over the place. I'm like, okay, creatively, what's the best way of showing everybody these are all the declines? Because that was the real. And yesterday, especially last night, the later the night got, like starting at like 8 o'clock at night, like the wacky orders just kept rolling in. There were no tip orders. There were like, I think I had one in there that was like $5 for 10 miles. And I'm like, what in the blue? You know what is going on with these orders? And the later it got, the more wackier the orders start coming in. I'm like, glad I don't care about acceptance rate. It'd be really stinky if I was top dasher at this point. So I feel for top dashers that go through this, because there's no way I was taking those orders. I'm just saying. Kathy, she even responds with long novels. I try. A lot of times I am so moved by some of your comments, especially Kathy. Thank you for your comment today. And I take a lot of them to heart. So I want my heartfelt answers to come out to you guys, especially when it is warranted. And, I feel like you guys are part of my family and you're my extended family. I feel like you guys are my coworkers. We don't have a W-2. Well, some of us have W-2 jobs, but some of us don't. So I feel like you're my coworkers. So you guys get to see me every single day, and the least I can do is really, give my heartfelt answers to a lot of you guys when it is warranted. Yeah. I can't wait for quiet time so I can watch. That's another thing, and I'm sorry guys, I have to say this real quick. I was putting in comments of the day. I'll be completely honest, call it blonde moments that I have. I used to be blonde. I used to be platinum blonde, by the way. This is my natural color, but I used to be platinum blonde, so I can say that I have blonde moments. Sometimes I get going with videos and I'm on a roll, and then I get to like nighttime and go, oh crap, I forgot the comment of the day. and that's been happening, I'm so sorry, quite a few. So I apologize. You guys will start getting the comments of the days again. I just sometimes get so wrapped up in going with the video that I just completely space out and forget about the comment of the day. So, hey, we can put that on my New Year's resolution for 2022. Don't forget the comment of the day. But Soda, I know you are still grinding out there. So be careful if you're listening to me and working at the same time. So be careful. Thomas, she does so much more than most people do for people on their channel. So thank you so much, Thomas. Lisa, you said it was definitely a fast year. Can't believe 2021 is near the end. I can't believe it either. Like I'm like, seriously, where did 2021? 2020 for me was a emotionally and rough year for me and my family. So then 2021 came, and I'm like, this is gonna be our year. This is like the year we're gonna get it together, and everybody's gonna get healthy, and we're gonna go out there and we're gonna rock it. And I feel like that was just yesterday. I was talking that because I really believe positive mindset gets you positive results. And even the first half of the year, it started off, still recovering with my husband and still going back and forth between his recovery and, being out and having that balance and really trying to be like that rock for the family. And it was a rocky start, but you know what? Rocky starts, there's always sunshine at the end of a rainbow. And I feel like that's what I'm going into with 2022. And I think that's why I believe in so strongly New Year's resolutions and new beginnings. I feel like every year we can reset the clock and really push forward, and I hate to say, choose kind of like our own destiny for a little while and believe that if I set these goals, gosh darn it, I'm going to achieve them and I'm going to do great things. And I think that's the mindset I usually go into every year. No one knows what the new year is going to bring. It could bring some good things, it can bring some challenging things, but you know what? I feel like New Year's bring new beginnings, and I'm a firm believer in that altogether. Monique Miller, I love how you are so positive and friendly during your work days. I keep hearing you say kindness is always free, and in my head when I want to lose it. Believe me, I think we all have those days where we we totally wanna lose it. We wanna scream at the top of our lungs. But you know what? I will say this. I I say this all the time. I can honestly say, and I wish my husband was here. He's not working right now, but I wish he was here and he can tell you. I literally have patience of a saint, except for when it comes for waiting on orders. I am like the least patient person there is. Ooh, maybe that's another New Year's resolution for 2022. Be more patient when it comes to waiting for orders. Like I guess it goes against my go, go, go mentality that I don't wait for orders. I'm like constantly like, I need an order. And it's so funny you should say that, just because like I am patient to an extent, and then like I get like crazed when I'm like, I need an order, I need an order. But yes, to your point though, kindness is always free. I live by it. In every restaurant I go to, if I ever come in contact with my customers, like I just feel like it comes back tenfold to you over and over and over again. I really believe you get further in life and in general with kindness opposed to anything other than kindness. So gig in between. Uber Eats stacks have been pretty tempting lately, well over $20, but the mileage is just high. I love stacked orders, by the way. I call them my chunks of change to making my daily goal. I really believe without a lot of my stacked orders I get, I wouldn't be making the goals I do on a daily basis. That's why I'm such a believer in stacked orders. Don't be afraid of taking longer miles, because that's where a lot of, at least in my area, every area is different, but in my area, in order to get some of the bigger payouts, you have to take some of the longer miles. And I know it stinks, and none of us ever want to do it, but it might pay off in the long run. And this is also my theory about longer miles. You might get one, I'm making this up, 10-mile order, but you also might get a 1-mile order for $10. So to me, it evens itself out in the long run. But also, I'm going to break this down a little bit further with you from stacked orders, just because I'm a firm believer in this. Is if you have a $20 stacked order, say if you break it down further, it's a $10 order and a $10. Oh, nice. Hey, I would have taken the $30 22 miles all day long. That's awesome. Go for it, because that's $33 an hour. That's amazing. See, okay, that's kind of like my point UDM I was going to get to. Nice. That's another thing. I think we agree on this too about coming back. So when you look at a stacked order, I kind of break it down further. Even if you don't know the exact dollar amount of each order, especially on Uber Eats, because they don't really tell you. Say you break it down that it's a $10 order and a $10 order. On a normal terms, would you have taken a $10 order for 5 miles? Most likely, you would have. So what's the difference if you took a 10-mile order for $20 versus breaking it up and taking them individually? It's kind of the same concept. It's just that you're now doing a 10-mile order, and it kind of equals itself out in the long run. To UDM's point, even if that $20 order takes you an hour to complete, you just made $20 an hour. And what UDM was just saying, he's working on a $30 stacked order. Even if it takes him the entire hour, it's going to be $30 an hour. In his case, what I look for and what UDM is talking about is you want to look for the order that actually brings you back home. And in my case, Grubhub, a lot of times if I'm taking like a 10-mile order, 8-mile order, sometimes I'm out of zone and I put on Grubhub or even Uber Eats and they actually send me an order to come back home. And that's like the perfect scenario to get. So you just did a $20 stacked order and then hopefully you get another order to get you back home. And then your $20 an hour just became a $32 hour, it could be a $40 hour, like depends on what your order is to come back home. So to me, I love doing longer miles just because that's where a lot of your money comes from, but don't shy away from it. Just do me a favor, just try one just to see whether it's worth it and see whether you get some money out of it. And I apologize. I try to get to all of your comments, by the way. Sometimes it's hard for me to talk and go back and forth. So if I miss anybody, I apologize. I'm just trying to get through as many comments as I possibly can. But thank you for commenting on a lot of these. I'm going to take a minute just to grab a drink real quick. But while I'm doing this, give this live a thumbs up while you're there. And then also, if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that right now as well. UDM, you're going home now. At 9 p.m. was my end time, but I just hit my goal. Nice, go home and enjoy. Go home, be with your family. But that's what I'm talking about. Hey, Doordash Revolution, how are you? That's what I'm talking, like, I think you just like inspired me. I have to say, see, you said 9 o'clock was your cutoff. That's gonna be my New Year's resolution. If 9 o'clock is my time, I am going home at 9 o'clock. And I think a lot of that, I have to be honest, is self-imposed on myself. I feel like I put more pressure on myself. I'm telling you, I'm the worst boss ever for myself. But get a Dr. Pepper. I'm telling you, Dr. Pepper is like my favorite drink like ever in life. I'm completely addicted to Dr. Pepper, which I know is a really bad thing, but I love Dr. Pepper. But anyway, I'm harder on myself, I think, than anybody out there, and I think we all have this, is, this past year, I'm like, goal. I have to make my goal. Everybody go get a Dr. Pepper because I'm about ready to get a refill. But it's goal, like, I'm like, have to make my goal. And at what cost at making your goal? Like, but there are so many days, and this is the real of gig work. I might do $250 one day. So if I don't make $200, I hate to say, what's the big deal? I just made $250 the next day. Like, there's always days where you make your goal and there are days that you don't make your goal. And I think because I'm such a goal-oriented person that, it kills me. Like, it literally, but I will say, not this year, but before, it would be like 10 o'clock. And I'm like, I'm not going home until I reach my goal. Like, I have $10 more. Like, but then, at what cost of staying out to reach that $10? Because we all know the later it gets. Sometimes the orders don't come in as quickly as you want them to. And I'm just saying. Just saying. But I am harder on myself than I probably am on. I keep saying, was I this bad of a boss? What, in my previous W-2 job as I am to myself? Thomas, Kim, the numbers you do is what I strive for. I will say this, and I feel like that's funny. I'm sorry. Truth be told, I should become a spokesperson for Dr. Pepper. So, Dr. Pepper, if you're out there and you want a sponsorship, I'm just saying. I'm just totally kidding. But I do love Dr. Pepper that much. I even have Dr. Pepper. Somebody gave me Dr. Pepper lip gloss. That's really bad. Anyway. So this is my thing. And I feel like this is a lot of everybody's numbers comes from the area you live in, the market you work in, everything, it dictates a lot of your earning potential in your area. I'm going to say, however, you need to take orders. and I think that's where I want to motivate you guys. Like, you need to take orders. I feel like a lot of times as creators, we try to tell you all these tips and tricks, and there are so many tips and tricks out there for the gig world. But the bottom line is just take orders. Just take orders. Even when you think you are in a down moment and you're not getting orders and your ideal order isn't coming in, but you get an order that is like, it's okay. I would rather take that order than to sit in my car and do absolutely nothing. But that's my own mindset. I get a lot of questions. Why did you take a $5 order for 5 miles? Or I get a lot of questions. Why do you only do $1 per mile? I do that during times where I can't be picky and choosy because orders aren't coming in. I would be rather making some money than no money. And I think that's where a lot of my successes are coming from. But I'm going to say this, a lot of my successes come from taking stacked orders and longer distance orders. So that's why I'm really a firm believer that, practice what you preach. I have no problem doing a 10-mile order, 12-mile order. I think I did a 15-mile order last week for $22, or was that the week before? But I have no problems doing that because at the end of that long drive or miles, and a lot of my area is highway based. So I have the parkway right by me, New Year's Eve Parkway. So yeah. If it's highway miles, sometimes the highway miles are quicker than some of your shorter distance that you're taking. Oh, bye UTM, thank you for coming by. I really appreciate you and your advice you gave me, so thank you very much. So to me, sometimes if it's a highway miles, it takes less time and you get more money out of it because it's longer distance. I'm just saying. So I'm going to say, be open to things that you normally wouldn't take. Be open to miles. Be open to orders that you, for some reason, we might be embedded in our brain. Like, why would I take that order? Someone had asked me the other day, I took a $4.75 order, but it was only going 1.5 miles. 0.5 of the miles was getting to the restaurant. I think it was McDonald's. And it was only a mile. It took me 10 minutes to do. So I just got $5 for doing 10 minutes worth of work. So I'm a person that I need to stay busy. And I think a lot of my goals and reaching my goals come from all of those factors combined. I know UDM, I think, just left, but he says, I learned this is really great advice, so that's why I'm reading it. I learned a long time ago that it burns you out faster, and I order to run a channel, work, and spend time with your family. You have to dedicate time to each person that is important. So really, really great advice. I probably couldn't have said it better. So getting in between. Because of you, I occasionally took a 17-mile order for the $20 plus. I try to think like it takes me 1 hour to complete, you'll be okay with the amount of hours. Very true. And this is another thing. Would you rather complete a stacked order for, making this up, $22, $25, $27? Would you rather complete that in 1 hour, or try to take 4 or 5, most likely 4, because technically doing 5 orders in an hour is a little on the tough side, but trying to do 4 orders in an hour to achieve the same thing? To me, I would rather do 2, get it done and over with, and maybe if I get it done quick enough, grab another order so I have the earning potential of more. Yeah, I'm a big fan of highway miles, and only you guys know your areas. Like, I can't look at your own maps and figure that out. You guys know your own maps and your area you worked. I'm just so happen to be like, I can literally hop on a highway and go north or south and deliver stuff really quickly. But I love I love highway miles. It actually ends up being really well. Yeah, Lisa, I know you're addicted to sugar-free Monster drink. Water, 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 Lisa. I'm gonna be like your voice of reasoning. Water, Lisa, did you have water today? Lisa, did you have water today? I'll keep you on track, Lisa. Josh, you don't drink Dr. Pepper? You should start. You'll get addicted to it. Driven Dad, another one for me is waking up at the right time. If I'm out at 5 a.m., ride share pays me really well. Huh, 5 a.m. for ride share? Oh, that's early. But I guess it's because of people going to work. Is that why it's so early? Because people are trying to get ride share to get to work? That's really early. Oh, I am so not a morning person. Like, even before my daughter was born, like, I was the person that would like sleep in until like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. Like, I am such a sleeper. Even now, like, my daughter still takes, naps on some days. And I cherish those days still, because I'm like, she goes down for a nap, I go down for a nap, because I'm such a sleeper. I feel like I can sleep all day and be a very happy person. But 5 a.m., woo! Josh, you can't make money for sitting in a parking lot, and you can't make money for sitting in a parking lot or sitting in your car. Keep on going. Like, that's like I'm really thinking, like, that's my thing. Like, keep on moving, just keep on moving. Like, even like in my orders, like, I always try to get an order before my last drop off. Like, the constant motion is a really key to me making my goals on some days as well, as long as the orders are coming in, especially during peak times. That's another one. Kim, do you think it's possible to do $500 in a day for any delivery drivers in real time? I mean, 10 to 14 hours. Oh. It's a good question. I've never have done it before. I think it depends on your area. I think it depends on your market, how quickly you can get orders, how large your orders are. If you're gonna do it, I think it's possible on a Friday or a Saturday. I don't think it's possible on a weekday. But if you're willing to put in the time, I say go for it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? You have a $350 day instead of a $400 to $500 day. I think the most, I'm trying to remember even the most I've ever done during the peak day, but you know, I keep thinking about challenges I can give myself also for 2022. I don't know, maybe I'll do a 12 hour, maybe I'll do a 12-hour straight challenge one day. But it's just so hard with my family because a lot of times, like, I purposely stop at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I want to go home and, have lunch and spend time with my daughter. This is her last year, well, a couple months, I should say, before she actually goes into kindergarten, and then my hours will probably be changing all over again. But I feel like spending as much time as I possibly can with my family is so super important to me. That's usually why I break between 2 and 5 o'clock. I take family walks. I make dinner every single night. So home chef, Kim the home chef. Oh my God, I can't speak. Kim the home chef. Once I get home from 2 to 5. So I don't know. Maybe I can try it one day just to kind of test out my own market and see what it's capable of producing. I hate to say, a lot of what we do is trial by error. Some of it is luck in getting like the best orders you possibly can. I mean, how many times are you like, you have those days where like you're on fire and like you're just taking orders? And I used to get this back in the summertime. I haven't gotten this in a really long time because for some reason Uber has declined in my area. But how many times, if it's happened to you, you get what I call on an Uber roll, and you get like a $20 stacked order, $27 stacked order, a $30 stacked order, and you're like, man, keep them coming, and you feel like it's endless. And then there's other days where, and you feel like you're like the luckiest person ever, and then you get those days where you're like, you just freaking can't get orders to save the life of you that's going to amount to anything, and you have to work harder to achieve your goals. So well, I think a lot of times luck has a lot to do with it, but you know what? I would rather try, and heck, if you can get to 350 to 400, I'd say that's success. It's a successful day all in itself. Kayla, I saw you mention in Michelle's last video that you were researching dumpling. I'm in Middletown and would hire you in a second. Oh, thank you. I think Michelle shed some amazing light on the dumpling program, and she always fascinates me with how passionate she is about it and how she's really developing her own clientele, and she's always developing the whole dumpling and taking everything that they have to offer. So I always say I do a lot of research in apps before I even start them. So she's been giving a lot of great information about dumpling. So I don't know, maybe we'll see if dumpling is in my near future. I'm not opposed to it. I'll be honest, I need to know more about it in our area. So if you are from my area, let me know. You can also go to Instagram. On Instagram, you can message me, or you can also email me as well. My email is in my description of all of my. Derek Jeter has a house in Red Bank? Really? Is that true? Why didn't I not know about that? Huh. Josh, I think you just taught me something new. I think you just taught me something new. Like, I've delivered to a couple of celebrity houses around my area, so it wouldn't surprise me. Just because there are so many celebrities in my vicinity around the Navesink River. Obviously, Bon Jovi, you have my governor, you have Bruce Springsteen is in Cold Snack. There's so many people. You have Queen Latifah in Cold Snack. There's just so many people. Geraldo Rivera used to live over here. I don't know whether he still does. Weird Al Yankovic used to have a house around here. There are so many celebrities milling around the area just based off of the beauty of an area that the houses are in. So it wouldn't surprise me, but no, I did not know Jeter had a house in Red Bank. Haven't run into him lately. Noah's navigating New York. I'm not familiar with these delivery apps, but I'm thinking it sure would be good if rather than telling you miles, telling you minutes, because time is a more legitimate factor. Noah, I think you have a very valid point. When I look at my orders, you can't do it so much on Grubhub because they're not very upfront with how long an order takes. But one of the major factors I personally look into when I'm looking at an order, especially with Uber. Oh, Princess, thank you so much. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. The one thing I look at, well, obviously we all look at the dollar amount first, but the second thing besides miles I look at, I actually look at Uber Eats. It tells you exactly how much time it's going to take you to complete the order. With Doordash, you have to do a little bit more math in your head, but it tells you what time it's going to be delivered by, but you can kind of estimate it's going to take 15 minutes, it's going to take 20 minutes, but it's a really big factor into my decision-making process just based off of, okay, this is going to take me 15 minutes. I can possibly get 3 more orders on an hour because I still give myself a dollar per hour goal. So it really is trying to figure out if I take this order, how much more can I... Oh, okay, thank you, Kayla. Geraldo still lives in Middletown. Thank you. I thought he lived around here. But to me, it's a very big deciding factor because even when you're looking at the bigger stacked orders, you can, oh my, okay, it's going to take me 45 minutes to complete a $20 order. Can I, in that last 15 minutes, can I get another order to still achieve my $25 per hour goal? So whatever your goals are, timing is definitely such a big factor into my decision-making process. Thank you, Thomas. Everyone, don't forget to hit the like button for Kim. So if you haven't done it already, Thomas, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. But yes, if you haven't taken time, I'm going to go grab myself something more to drink real quick because I'm running low. So take the time right now. If you haven't done it already, hit that thumbs up button, and I'll literally be like right back in like 2 seconds. I'm just going to go grab more soda. Okay, sorry guys. I know, I did get more Dr. Pepper. I'm golden now. Glass number 2 of Dr. Pepper on their way. So gig in between, Instacart gal, so I'd rather do 1 or 2. So it's interesting, and this almost made my New Year's resolution list, but maybe this can be one of your guys' resolution is this year, try a new app. Whatever Elizabeth, you're a Pepper girl too? Yay, another fellow Dr. Pepper person. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get everybody addicted to Dr. Pepper. Maybe I should take stock in it, like tonight. Hey, Roger Rodeo, how are you? Great live tonight, by the way. Yeah, I'm going to get everybody addicted to Dr. Pepper, so maybe I need to go buy stock like tonight, so that way when everybody goes to buy Dr. Pepper, I'll see an uptick in stock. But anyway, I'm going to say this. Try a new app this year. I know that's one of my goals. I won't say it's a resolution. It's one of my goals. Try a new app. Driven Dad. Dr. Pepper reminds me of Johnny 5. What's Johnny 5? Is that alcohol? So anyway, try a new app. You never know. It might be a good thing. Try a new app. Maybe I'll finally do an Instacart. Lisa, this one's for you. Maybe I'll finally do an Instacart order this year. Who knows? Ooh, Orange Crush. So it's funny you should say Orange Crush. So when I was pregnant with my daughter, and obviously, Short Circuit movie. I love that movie. When I was pregnant with my daughter, and you can't have caffeine, and I couldn't have Dr. Pepper, for some reason, I was craving flavored sodas, and the Orange Crush would be my go-to, along with cream soda and root beer. So I always was craving, for whatever reason, flavored sodas, but Orange Crush was one of them. Elizabeth, okay, Kim, you said most I've made is 2 deliveries, $28. It's been with Uber Eats. I used to get Uber Eats. Sorry, it's my alarm going off. For some reason, I'm lazy. I've had it set for the same time forever, even since I moved into the house, and I just have never changed it. So it's just my alarm. Sorry. But what was I saying? I lost track. But Uber Eats used to be literally my go-to app. Something happened in my market. I don't know whether I got flooded with drivers in my market. Something changed in my market with Uber Eats, and I don't even get close to what I was making. Back in the beginning of the summer, I would have just $1,000 weeks just on Uber Eats alone, and I think last week I did $149 on Uber Eats. Ugh. I don't know what's going on with Uber Eats in my area. It's not doing it for me. But that used to be my Uber Eats used to be my jam. Not so much anymore. Josh, you drink a gallon of water every day. Water is key, my friend. I should listen to my own advice. When I was losing weight a year ago, the only thing I drank was water, because that's what you do when you lose weight. You just drink water. But once I was at my target weight, I'm like, soda, going back. I gave it up long enough. The game did. I made $380 in 8 hours on Instacart, but never came close to that in just food. Huh, interesting. I think it's me. I personally just have my own hang up on, thanks Thomas, that's funny. I have my own hang up on Instacart. Maybe it's just me. I don't like grocery shopping for myself, never along with for somebody else. I'll be completely honest with you. Even my grocery shopping, I go, I do everything online, and I do Walmart pickup, and I go and pick up my grocery order, so I don't even have to deal with a supermarket. So to me, getting out of my nice cozy car to go into a store and go shopping, and I don't know, I just don't think it's me. But I promised Lisa and I promised you guys maybe this year I will try Instacart. I don't know. We'll see. Cynthia, you said I started drinking RC Cola. My dad drank it all the time when I was a kid. It's funny you should say RC Cola. Is it even still around anymore? Because my dad was addicted to RC Cola for like, it was like a staple in my house growing up. And like, it's what, like, it was the go-to soda in my house. And it's funny you should say that your dad loved it, because my dad absolutely loved RC Cola. Is it still around? Let me know. I'm just curious. Yeah, right. So I used to like, I'm telling you, you said Uber Eats. Like I used to like love Uber Eats. Like I couldn't tell you like enough great things about Uber Eats. I was like, Uber Eats, they're fantastic. Go get Uber Eats. And then I think like August hit, somewhere around there, and then all of a sudden Uber Eats was like non-existent. I don't know what happened to Uber Eats in my area. Like I said, I don't know whether it's there's so many drivers that signed up for Uber Eats and they let them onto the platform. I don't know, but I will say this: whenever I go into Dunkin' or other restaurants, like I see tons of like Uber Eats drivers there. I'm thinking, how the frick did you get an Uber Eats driver? And I'm struggling to get an Uber Eats order. So I have a feeling that's it in my area. So stinks for me, because I used to like legitimately love Uber Eats. And lately I'm starting to see a lot more orders come in my area. I don't know whether drivers aren't going out because it's cold outside. That happened last year. I'm not sure, but man, Uber Eats, what's going on? Kayla, my new ShopRite in Middletown now offers delivery. So far it's from Doordash and ship. My only problem with it is not having a way to tip the driver separately. I have to catch them to give them cash. Huh, interesting. I haven't been to that new ShopRite yet. I know that they just opened, what, like maybe 3 or 4 months ago over in Middletown. I haven't been over in that way, and it's been a while since I've been over that way, but interesting. But I'm sure it's a gorgeous, because when they opened up the ShopRite by me, now it's been open maybe about 5 years-ish, 6 years-ish, somewhere around there. But it was gorgeous. It's still gorgeous, but it was gorgeous when it first opened, just because the only thing we had was Acme around me, and then you get this nice, pretty, pristine ShopRite, and it's like your world changes like overnight. But it's interesting that they offer delivery. The last time I did ShopRite was because Walmart didn't have something, but I don't know, it was weird. I did ShopRite and they were doing the pickup, like you can do the pickup, and I had requested them to bring it to my car. Lo and behold, they charged me $10 to bring it to my car. I'm like, I could have gone in and gotten it for $10. They didn't even let me know there was a $10 fee to bring it to the car. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And I haven't done a ShopRite order since then. Thomas, Kim and Rideshare Lisa would be a first class show. Oh, you're talking about us doing a collab together? We, Lisa, we'll have to get together on that one. I know we've talked about it a couple of times. We might, the next time you are coming my way, because I think you said you're coming in maybe January, February, let me know. We'll see if we can get something together. I think it would be a lot of fun for us. I don't know whether I'm up for the 24-hour challenge quite yet. I think that might be something we can do in the summertime, maybe not so much the winter. But I think it would be a lot of fun for Lisa and I to do a collab together. Kathy, they would be rock stars. Can you imagine it? I hope it. Pray for it to happen. It will be a top YouTube live for sure. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Lisa and I will get together and we'll let you know. I hate the shopping orders. I have never ever once had an order where they had everything, and what a pain in the keister. That's funny. To try to call the customer or text. I don't get how people do it, and I will not. I think that's my other biggest thing with Instacart and all the other ones, Corner Shop. I don't have Corner Shop by me, but I see other YouTube creators go through so much trouble when they have to do substitutions and calling the customer and texting the customer, and I just I'll be honest, I like my simplicity of going to a restaurant, picking up my order, and delivering it to a customer's house with all the headaches in between. And from what I know in my area, from what people tell me, Instacart isn't like a really like big deal. So like to me, it would have to like be a substantial amount of money to make me still reach my dollar per hour goals. And maybe it's just me. Yeah, I agree with you, Kit. It's huge. I order online and have it delivered because it's too big to walk around and tend to buy more. I'm telling you, when I found Walmart pickup, and I found this during, when we were in lockdown for the pandemic, is I found it to be a time saver, because whenever it's kind of like creating your own shopping list throughout the entire week. So I feel like when you do an order, you don't really forget things, because as soon as you run out of something in your house, you just kind of put it in your Walmart cart, or in your case, your ShopRite cart. And I feel like you never really forget something because it's an ongoing shopping list. So that way, when you get to go, hit go with your pickup, or in your case, your delivery, like you just go and pick it up. Like I feel like it has saved me so much time and energy. And to your point, I only get what I want or what I need, opposed to being in how many times do we go to especially a ShopRite, and they have all those pre-made foods, and you're like, oh, this looks good, or oh, this looks good. I remember ShopRite. Hey, Ellen, how are you? ShopRite has I think it was what was it, London broils, like teriyaki London broil, and they also have turkey, and I'm like, oh, you can get lost just in their pre-made section alone. So yes, you do save money by doing that. Okay. And I think we are towards the end. Hey, Pedro, how are you? Welcome. So guys, let me know, do you have any, before we wrap it up for the evening, do you have any New Year's resolutions of your own? Anything you're gonna, put forward in the gig world this year? Are you going to try a new app? Can you spike Dr. Pepper? I am pretty sure. So you can spike Dr. Pepper, FYI, with 3 olive cherry vodka, and it becomes like a spiked cherry Dr. Pepper. It's absolutely fantastic. Highly recommend it. So if you get a chance, hey Claudia, how are you? So if you get a chance, go out and get, if you love Dr. Pepper, go out and get 3 olive cherry vodka and put it in your Dr. Pepper. I swear, it's like the best drink you're ever going to have. You just have to be careful because you forget that you are drinking alcohol and they can kind of sneak up on you. So just FYI, if you're looking for a drink with Dr. Pepper or even just regular vodka and Dr. Pepper works too, but I'm a big fan of like flavored vodkas because I feel like it hides a lot of, there are amazing people here tonight, Pedro, but there's a lot of really good flavored vodkas out there, and I'm a big flavored vodka person, especially going into like sodas, even like a Coke or, you know, any one of those like soft drinks. You can even do it with Sprite if you're not like a Dr. Pepper fan, like any kind of stuff like that, even like a ginger ale. I love 3 Olive vodka. It's probably one of my favorite alcohols to put in soft drinks, so just FYI. Oh, Kayla, that sounds good. I like vodka with cranberry ginger ale. Oh, you know, that would be a really good like Christmas drink too. I love also, what do they call poinsettias, where it's cranberry juice with champagne? Or no, they're called poinsettias. Is that what they're called? Poinsettias, where it's cranberry juice and you put champagne in it. Oh, that's really good too. Oh, I swear I don't drink that often. I swear, but when I do, like I like my certain drinks. Thomas, Kim, I swear you work about 29 days a month, 8 to 12 hours a day. Talk about the hustle. So I'll be honest, these past 2 weeks I've calmed it down a little bit just because of the holiday, and I wanted to spend as much time as humanly possible with my family as possible. What I normally do is most weeks I work 6 days and I work usually 8 hours. I typically do not go over 8 hours. I will go over 8 hours, but I don't typically go over 8 hours. The hours I normally work is I usually work from 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, sometimes 11 o'clock in the morning, depends on kind of what's going on with my family. I stop at 2 o'clock for the afternoon lull, I call it, and then I go back out and do 5 to 9 or 5 to 10. Just depends on what my goal, like if I have my goal in for the day or how quickly. I always try to have in, at least try to have in $100 before I go home in the afternoon. That way I only have to do $100 at nighttime. I forget who I was chatting with in comments earlier today that my afternoons lately have been better than my evenings for whatever reason. Like afternoons have been like rocking in my area lately for whatever reason. I can't figure it out. I almost feel like they've flip-flopped a little bit, but I really do try to get $100 before I leave for the afternoon. That way I only have to do $100 at night. That way it's kind of like a 50-50 split. Every once in a while I'll go out early in the morning just because I'm testing my market just to see what mornings are like, or I might have something going on at nighttime, and sometimes I'll work earlier so that way I'm not out so late at night because I want to spend some time with my family. To me, yes, it's all about the hustle, but what I've learned this past year is, you know, really cherishing the time you have with your family and having that balance, because like I said before, I feel like you can get so caught up in taking order that you kind of forget and lose track of that quality time that you have with your family. And that's just as important with me, and it's really finding that balance between hustle and family time. And to me, that's, you know, that's why I've come up with my New Year's resolutions that I have this year, just because I can't keep going the way I'm going, and, you know, still continue to be the best person I can for my family. And, you know, it's for me this year, it's finding that balance between going out, working, coming home, editing, posting in the morning, and then starting my day all over again. And I always say I pride myself on being a present parent And that's the way I want to keep it because, you know, like I said, my daughter goes to school, goes to kindergarten next year. I still freaking can't believe she turns 5 in 2 months. Um, so it's literally cherishing every moment I have through her development and being part of her learning because, you know, she's not in daycare. She's not in pre-K. And we're literally trying to teach her as much as I possibly can while we're here and we're home. And when else would we ever have this opportunity to really be so involved in, you know, our child's life? You know, when I had my W-2 job, I always felt like I was going to my W-2 job, dropping her off at daycare, and I would only get to see her for 1 hour, 2 hours, maybe a day based off of her coming home, eating dinner, getting her ready, and going right back to bed again. So to me, it's all about this year being a present parent and being involved in cherishing every single moment that I have with my family. And I think that's where the balance comes in between hustling and being there for my family. Thank you, Thomas. Kim's channel brings out so many good talent and positive people. Yes, thank you so much, everybody. Kayla, I feel like I'm true because I'm a customer of the apps, not a driver. Hey, you're not an intruder. Everybody's welcome. This is a community that everybody is welcome. But you know what? I always say, and I will say this, a lot of my merchants that are in my area watch my channel as well. So they get a different perspective, and a lot of them tell me they love watching my channel because they never realize why drivers act the way they do, or why they take certain orders, or why orders are just sitting on their shelves. Like, they never comprehend what it's like on the driver's side, and a lot of them watch this channel because they really get to know from a driver's perspective. So for you, Kayla, welcome, first of all. But you get to see it from a customer standpoint and what a driver goes through. So this is a community that everybody is involved, and I welcome everybody. So welcome to my channel. And you are not an outsider, you are part of the community, so stick around. Oh, Lisa, go get ready for work. Have a fantastic night at work and enjoy yourself. Drink that water. No more monster drinks for you. Thank you, Thomas. Yes, before we leave tonight, everybody, if you can, give this live a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. If you're new to my channel and are watching this for the very first time, join the community and subscribe to my channel as well. Kayla, I've learned a lot about what drivers go through. Try to be the best customer you can. That's fantastic, Kayla. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for being a customer. Maybe we'll deliver to your house one day. You might see one of us. Who knows? Okay, guys, I'm going to be wrapping it up for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope everybody has a safe and happy New Year. Enjoy yourself. If you're spending time with your family, spend time with your family. I'm going to be spending New Year's Eve with my family. I'm excited. I'm having like an hors d'oeuvres night just with my family. I don't know why I'm so excited about this, but I'm making like buffalo chicken meatballs and like pigs in a blanket and chips and dips, and I guess I'm really excited about that. I don't know why. But anyway, everybody have a fantastic fantastic New Year's. Get those New Year's resolutions out here today. Oh, Pedro, you just got home from doing Uber Eats, UberX, and Doordash. Well, welcome home. Thank you for joining us tonight. Michelle, go make that money. And Kathy, thank you. Oh, Thomas, thank you so much. I really appreciate everybody's support. Happy New Year, everybody. Everybody stay safe. Make those New Year's resolutions. And guys, if you're driving, stay safe and healthy. Remember, kindness is always free. I love you guys, and I'll see you a little bit later. I'll see you next week. Peace out.